Afternoon.
Hi, Dave. Just regarding the Yamamoto recall, is he up because of what he was doing down there, or what's happening up here? And what do you in that?
He earned the right to be up here because of what he did down there. And if the last game is any, I think he's played 23 minutes. He had a goal, an assist, he drew through three penalties. I mean, he's been a good player down there for him. So we're looking for a little more tenacity, some people that can make some plays up here. So he's the guy that fit the bill.
Is it reasonable to expect him to make an immediate impact? Like, what are you expecting right
We want him to be a solid player. Come up here and play to his strengths. His strengths are tenacity, getting around the puck. He's not a big guy, but he plays hard, and he's got skill to make plays. And that's where we're missing some plays getting made. So that's what we'll give him an opportunity to do.
You got Lagesson up as well. Is he going to play tomorrow? And if so, the challenges for injecting him and having a potential, very young decor.
Yeah, we want to get him in the lineup. I'm not sure if it's tomorrow or not. We haven't come to a final conclusion on that. But he was playing well down there. Manning had to get some games, so he was the best fit there. Jones has been okay, so we'll make a decision on that tomorrow. But I'd like to get Lagesson in the lineup here sometime in the near future.
There's so many young defensemen, if you want to talk about in the league, the Makar and Haskinens of the world, like they just play with such a tempo. Is it harder for a guy who might brand himself as a hard-working shutdown guy, while that's still valuable? Like, is that enough of a skill set to really play?
Well, you need a mix on your blue line. You need people that can block shots and penalty kill and play hard in front of the net too. You can't just have all skill. So we're looking for that mix, but we're looking to, until Benning gets back up, we want to have players here that we feel we can put in the lineup and compete and give us a chance to win. And he's the best defenseman down there right now, and that's why he came up. So if he gets the opportunity, we expect him to jump in and play well.
Dave, we were chatting with Leon Draisaitl a little bit today. He seems pretty aware of where his game has been at. He used an expletive to describe his own game the last little while. What do you sense from Leon in terms of the efforts he's making to get it turned around and kind of his awareness of where he's at?
He's very aware of where he's at, and we've had some good conversations over the last couple of days. He's had a couple of real good days of practice here, understanding where his game's at, where he can make improvements, and what's expected in the future. So he's very aware of where his game's at and where it needs to be, and I fully expect him to play well tomorrow.
Dave, a lot of the players talk about the focus the last few days has been improved 5-on-5 play. Obviously, scoring more and trying to defend more. Is the one silver lining for you really? It's really kind of a massive outlier when you look at the goal for, goal against for Leon and Connor on the ice. That just doesn't happen very often. Is that good to think that, that's just not going to continue? Historically, it doesn't. So you feel like you can turn things around because of that?
Well, the 5-on-5 play, the more balance is if you look at the way the first half went, I mean, those two guys, first 20 games jetted out, and it was pretty remarkable what they're doing. So would I love to see that continue? Sure it would, but that wasn't realistic. So the 5-on-5 play, the first half, you look at our special teams have both been in the top 10 or a lot of time top 5. Our goaltending's fairly solid, a couple slips here and there, but fairly solid. But the 5-on-5 play is a concern, and it was a concern early that our scoring was coming from mainly two guys, and then teams came in and they start taking away those two guys. So you're looking for some balance somewhere, and we haven't had enough of that. So what happens is you end up chasing games, and you give up some of your 5-on-5 play. To me, is offense and defense. So we were giving up some of our 5-on-5 play on the defensive side to try to compensate for the offensive side, and we're giving up way more than we should be giving up. So we're looking for that balance of creating more offense, but also being a strong defending team.
Does that just go naturally with being behind too often in games?
Yeah, exactly. You chase games, and it's you can get away with it sometimes, and we got away with it a few times early. But when you chase games, There's not a lot of, you don't look like a structured team. You don't play as well defensively. You're trying to win. And that's, I mean, you have to understand that from players. You can't be down 4-2 in a game and, oh, let's play good defense. You know? It doesn't work that way.
So Leon's like a superstar in the league, but he's a young guy. He doesn't have tons of experience. So is this part of the learning curve that?
Very much so. Very much so. He's a player that all players go through adversity. This is some adversity that I think will do him very well as he moves on. Like he's the epitome of what we just talked about. Like he's trying to win. We're down 4-2. He's going to do whatever he can to help us win, and he thinks by scoring that helps us win. And sometimes you can't blame him for thinking that way because we're down, right? That's just the way it is. But as we've got chasing more and more, his game the imbalance has come there from giving away too much, and he's ended up chasing it more than the team's chasing it. So there's some of them. We go through every scenario, every goal, and he's gobbled some minuses that should be nowhere close to, but he's on the ice because he's on the ice a lot. And there's places that he can clean up. So those are things we've talked about the last few days. And like I say, I fully expect him. He's well aware of where his game's at, where we are as a team. I expect him to start turning the other way and go upward starting tomorrow. All right, thanks.